Carl on the mic. First of all, English is not even his primary language.
He's not the one. Sorry.
They're not the ones. So they are.
Hey, welcome everybody to season 2, episode 1 of Smarkin Around. I am your host, Carl Smarks, and thank you to returning viewers, new viewers on new platform. We are streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and X did not upload for us for some reason, but we are live on those platforms. And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Smark Nation presents to you Season 2, Episode 1 of Smarkin Around. And if you're not down with that, we got 2 words for ya: Netflix. And without further ado, let me introduce to you the co-host of Smarkin Around. His name is the Second City Rain, Ray.
Hey, yo. Good evening, Smark Nation. Good evening, Carl. Happy New Year, everybody. We are back for season 2 of Smarkin Around. I'm ready. Are you ready, Carl?
I'm so ready. And let me introduce to you the guy. You got to say his name more than twice because it is so nice. Triple J, Joe.
Yo, Joe.
Happy New Year, everyone. Good to be here. What up, what up?
Happy New Year, Joe.
Happy New Year, guys. I hope you guys are having a good new year. We are back after kind of 2 months hiatus. You know, stuff happened, but we are back full strength and better than ever. How's your guys' new year so far?
You go first, Joe.
Busy. Work. Getting all this stuff done that I didn't get done last year.
Hey, that's good. That's a good thing.
Damn.
You know, you're getting paid. You're getting shit done. Your New Year's off to a good start.
You know that's right. And we got a lot to talk about on the wrestling side. So before we jump into everything, man, I miss you guys. I just want to say that live and on
Aw,
in living color. I miss you guys a lot.
we miss you, Carl.
Miss you always, brother.
And we got some good stuff going on for Royal Rumble. We want to go. Are we down with that yet? We haven't figured that plan out, but hopefully you guys will see us in Indianapolis at the Lucas Oil Stadium or Field.
I think it's stadium.
It is
Lucas Oil Stadium, home of the Indianapolis Colts in Indianapolis, Indiana.
Indianapolis, Indiana. So hopefully we get out there. That'd be pretty awesome. We're still figuring out how we're gonna do this, but hopefully Smarks are definitely ready to go and are definitely ready to do our thing. But there is a little problem right now because we are not live on our platforms. It does not look like we are live, but it does say we are live. So
Are we
hopefully,
recording at least?
hopefully it's working, but I don't see us live on YouTube, which is very important to us to have people actually watching our stream, because then why do we do it?
For the love.
For the love, right? So we might have to kick this all over again. It does say we're live, but unfortunately, I do not see us live. Can you guys check our feed on the YouTube?
Let's see, checking right now.
Yeah, looks like we're live. Yeah, we're live.
We are live. Okay. That looks perfectly fine to me. All right, so we are live. We are on YouTube. We are streaming on multiple platforms. I hope you guys check us out, and
Live.
we'll keep it up.
On YouTube. We are streaming on
And we will keep it up, guys, and we will get this going. So let's just jump into the topics real quick. We kind of made a little flow chart of what we're going to talk about today. We kind of came prepared. So let's talk about the first thing, the initial reactions we had of the Raw presentation, of the promos leading up to this special event called Monday Night Raw on Netflix. Ray, what's your initial reaction to the Raw presentation?
I was very excited for Raw on Netflix, but at the same time, I kept low expectations because for years, time and time again, every time they promote a very special Raw, whenever they plan something like this, it's usually a letdown and underwhelming. But this time, it was not the case. As good as Raw Netflix was, it still does not touch Raw 1000, which I believe was one of the very best Raw episodes in history. But Raw Netflix, I thought it was really good. It was a lot of fun. The feel was very different. Too many commercials. A lot of stars were out. The presentation was incredible.
Joe, what are your initial reactions to the Raw presentation?
Well, number one, I have to pay for another subscription. It definitely was showy, show business. It was definitely made for television. I could have done without all of the corporate suits. It's like, oh, we got to kiss these guys' asses because they put us on Netflix. It's like, come on.
Yeah.
But then again, it's the Triple H era.
Yeah, so my initial reaction was pretty much we got more ads on the ring, we had what was it, Fortnite, we had
Fortnite, Rhea,
cricket,
Cricket,
we had
And real American beer.
and real American beer. Was that the promoted
for the Hulkster.
was that promoted on the ring? I can't recall if that was. I don't.
Yeah, it
Yes,
was.
sir, it
Yes.
was. But the
Wow.
biggest shocker is that the biggest shocker was there was no ad for Logan Paul's drink.
That's correct. But
Could
that's
their contract
PLE.
with Prime be up?
Oh, that's isn't he like in legal troubles or something? Or he's
Not that
suing
I know
somebody?
of.
Mm.
Or maybe could it be just a SmackDown exclusive sponsorship?
Yeah, however that contract works out, it wasn't there. You're right. And the ropes were white. I kind of wish they went back to red.
Same.
Yeah.
Red
Because
ropes.
that is what we grew up on. We grew up on red ropes just like how we grew up on blue ropes for SmackDown.
But presentation wise, the bigger Titantron is gone, so they have more room in the non-viewing area previously, right?
You see, I think
Yes.
that's another thing with the whole the Intuit arena or whatever. It's supposedly the most high tech arena on the planet, and I think they made lesser of a Titantron just to focus on the capacity of the arena.
Hmm.
Hopefully, in other arenas they have the full on Tron, but
Right, right. Okay, so next topic, the next thing we're gonna slide over is we're changing the game on Monday nights. Is this a game changer as Triple H has speculated? Is this gonna change what do you see? Because right now it's kicking off hard, but is it really gonna be a different Raw than we saw the last whatever however many years? Like let's say a year.
I'm hoping so. I mean, we've only had the first episode of Raw on Netflix, so it's very early to tell if they're gonna keep the momentum going. But I believe that between now and by this time in 2026, Raw will be pretty much the same but also different. It's gonna have some good episodes and it's gonna have some stinkers. Right now, they're gonna be firing on all cylinders as we are now on the road to the Royal Rumble. That is when they start trying and put in all this effort for the Raw and SmackDown episodes between now and WrestleMania. And then once all that is said and done, everything calms down and they just be a little lazy.
Joe, is this a game changer for you, buddy?
I'm not gonna call it a game changer. I think Monday Night Raw being touted as the flagship show, I think it's gonna go through some growing pains. I think it's different now. It's not for mass consumption anymore. It's more for a specialized audience, I think,
S-
and
Yeah.
it's gearing towards grabbing another audience. I feel listening to the opening monologue with Triple H, Trip Paul H Levesque. Um, he mentioned the two words in other terms that I've mentioned before. WWE is big on heroes and villains. He actually mentioned the words baby faces and heels. So for this new audience, they don't know what the hell that means. So to me, that is acknowledging, okay, we are acknowledging the baby faces, or we're acknowledging the heroes and the villains. So there's always going to be that narrative of the hero and the villain, which I kind of wish they kept it as. I wish Triple H didn't even mention that.
Yeah. So game changing, yes, and for the reason is it's on Netflix, right? It's reaching a broader audience. This is Netflix, but how Netflix does live events is something very different to me. I don't see Netflix as a live event carrier service.
Oh,
Like the last live event Netflix had was what uh the
Jake
Paul
Paul
fight
Tyson
and
versus
Mike
Paul.
Tyson.
just the UI, the user interface to watch a live event on Netflix is not vibing for me yet. If we look at Peacock now, right? We have Peacock. We watch PLEs. We've been watching PLEs since when, Ray, on Peacock? When was it established? Can you recall?
Since I wish I could say when, but it's been like a few years
Yeah, so let's say
since they
2 years,
stopped doing the
right?
whole WWE network and they jumped to Peacock.
Yeah, because it was the international TV rights and all that good stuff. But yeah,
Oh yeah.
so Netflix to me was maybe I'll show my age here. Even it was never a live event service. It started with what DVD rentals, right? Then we started moving to like
DVD
B
rentals through mail.
movies, right? B movies streaming when the capabilities was there. But like to have a live raw, it's I mean it's new to me, but just the interface I don't like on Netflix. But it is a game changer because you're reaching a wider audience at this point.
I
Bringing
think
more eyes to the product. Yeah, that is correct.
I think it's going to go more by way of theater. It's going to be more showy. It's going to be, again, it's going to play up that narrative of the hero and the villain, making a lot of the current roster, a lot of the current superstars, perhaps future multimedia stars, movies, other Netflix shows, other networks. That's where I see this going. It's not really, I don't really see it playing up to the talents and the strengths of the roster.
I agree. I agree with that sentiment. So moving on, there was a lot of things that happened on this Monday Night Raw. It was kind of pushed as a PLE, a spectacular event. So we'll move on to our next topic, which was actually we'll talk about the matches first. We'll talk about the matches. Let's start. We kicked off with Roman Reigns versus Solo Sikoa in this tribal combat match. This was a no DQ match, pretty much. Anything goes, bloodline rules, tribal combat. Ray, what was your first initial impressions on that match?
I I felt like it wasn't as special as we thought it would be. I feel like the most memorable thing of the tribal combat was what happened post match.
I believe so too. There was a lot of things going on in the post match. Joe, what do you think about the match itself and anything that happened after?
Well, you know me, I'm a Roman guy, of course, and he was looking in top form. A little bit of a predictable outcome, a little bit of a predictable match, but action
Very.
wise, I'm going to give it two thumbs up. Uh, I love Roman. Solo, I think Solo has a big future, even though, and I hate doing this, I hate the reading into spoiler blogs that Solo either may be going away or running as a tribal chief on Friday Night SmackDown while Roman goes to Raw, because we have that, what is that called, that window that I forgot what Cole calls it,
like
that
a trade like a trading window.
yeah, like the where they go in between brands. But action wise, I thought it was a great match. I liked it.
And so, just FYI, in this podcast, you're going to hear a lot of Netflix, just like we've heard Netflix a million times. So,
Uh,
Raw on Netflix. Oh my geez,
yeah,
Jeez,
take my money.
that promotion.
It's
Yeah,
it's a new era. So long to the USA Network. And the plus side, I'll give you guys a positive with Monday Night Raw now officially being on Netflix. I want to take this moment to say thank you so much Netflix for not bleeping the crowds. Thank you so much.
Yes, no
Yeah, could
bleeping
be a lot
crowd.
less censorship
That,
for.
that that that's a good thing. Okay, moving on to the next match. I can't recall if it was Liv Morgan versus Rhea, right?
Yeah.
That was the next one following up. Okay,
Wasn't it Jay versus Drew?
or was it Jay versus Drew? That's the
No,
I
it
can't
was
remember the order.
no, no, no. You're right. You're right, Carl. It was Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley for the Women's World Championship.
All right, your thoughts, Ray. Was it
I
time? Was it the right time?
Many
Is it her
people are
time?
not happy that, from what I read on X or Twitter or whatever you want to say on social media, a lot of very mixed feedback. Many people feel bad that Liv Morgan is not going to walk into WrestleMania as the Women's World Champion, myself included. I love them both, but I feel like they have a plan for Rhea Ripley, who never lost the title, mind you. She had it relinquished, so throughout this whole time, she was the uncrowned women's champion, and she got back what she never lost. Now, the match itself, it is it is what it is. I expected something special, like a good show-stealing match, but all they gave him was about, I believe, 15 minutes. It kind of felt like I was watching Saturday night's main event, where all the matches and the finishes were predictable. But what happened post match was also really good. Rhea got her revenge on Dom. She's done with him. And then we got a surprise appearance from the American Badass himself, The Undertaker, who, from what I read, he wanted to go out there and give Rhea that moment that he had with her, because apparently Rhea is one of the Undertaker's favorite wrestlers in recent memory. What a moment for
Joe, what are your
Bobby.
thoughts on Rhea and Liv?
I think the title change had to, again, I'm going to use this word again, theater. It had to give a little bit of suspense to the newer viewers. It had to give something for the newer viewers and to the newer market to look forward to. Um, there had to have been some title change, just to give it that, shall we say, reality essence. Um, I would have liked to see Liv Morgan hold the title a little bit longer, but
Same.
at the end, again, one of my favorites, Taker comes out as the American Badass on the motorcycle. I was expecting Undertaker to make an appearance. Didn't know when, but I would have liked to see more of him that night.
Definitely, I agree. Undertaker was a pretty big pop when he did come and give his, I guess, gave her flowers, right?
He
Said,
did.
hey, this and
Yeah.
that. But Dirty Dom try to make up with Mommy at the end of that match because he's I guess they called him a gold digger because now she has the title. So I want to see if like the Liv, like she tries to be like a fatal attraction kind of type storyline. That'd be kind of cool. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Like where she just starts chasing Dom, but Dom wants nothing to do with her. He just wants to get with Mommy, and she gets all crazy, and that will be like just kicking into high gear. I would like to see that.
That would be
That'd be
interesting.
awesome. That'd be pretty interesting. But yeah, that match was a pretty solid match. I think it is Rhea's time. Maybe you could have held out till Royal Rumble, but hey, you had to do something big for January 6th on Netflix, Monday Night Raw on Netflix, right?
Yeah.
Yes, I agree, and with the fact that it was on January 6th, I'm just happy that in the wrestling world, the date itself, January 6th, will be talked in a positive way.
I agree. Moving on to the next match we had on the card was Jay Uso versus Drew McIntyre. Ray, your thoughts?
I was expecting, Drew to go over, cross off Jey Uso off his what do you call it?
The
Hit
revenge.
list,
Bloodline hit list.
right?
That's what I'm calling it. But Jey Uso with the surprise with defeating, pulling off a surprise upset on Drew McIntyre. How about that?
Pulling off, yeah, definitely. Joe, your thoughts?
I didn't like the way it ended. I didn't like how it was won. A little too abrupt, I guess. But it's kind of echoing what Ray said. I thought Jay was going to be another victim of his revenge tour, his quote unquote revenge tour. Um, that's going to lead me to another point later on regarding Drew McIntyre.
Yeah.
If you never watched wrestling before today, and you saw the entrance that Jey Uso had, you might think he is the main eventer of every event ever. He came out with Travis Scott. It
Honestly.
was in LA, obviously. All the celebrities were there. They were just smoking the ganj, yes, 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 and just yeeting all over the place. So,
It was
if you,
Sage. It was Sage. It wasn't Ganj. They
yeah,
didn't say Ganj. They said it was Sage. That's
okay, yeah, right.
You
Thanks
would
for the
hear it at a
correction.
concert.
Right. So, if you never saw wrestling before and you saw Jey Uso enter Monday Night Raw on Netflix, you think he was like main event Jey Uso, right?
Yeah, like
nobody.
literally main event, or you would think this was a some sort of concert, especially with Travis Scott by his side.
Big
I
time.
mean, going off of that, I mean, just from WrestleMania, he brought out Lil Wayne. You know, he's getting pops from a lot of different multimedia stars,
Yeah,
rappers in particular. But I don't think anyone has better crowd interaction than Jay right now. Jay is he is. You're right. He does look like a main eventer every night just by coming out to the crowd. Crowd loves it. He's got the spotlight on him. Um, I want to
very
see
over.
bigger. Yeah, I want to see bigger things for Jay in this year.
Right. I agree 100%. Big things for Jay. And moving on to our main event of the evening, CM Punk versus Seth freaking Rollins. Ray, your thoughts?
I, for one, am very happy with this match, with the booking and everything, with the way it went. They kept it one on one, mano a mano. We had I believe it was the runtime was around 18 to 19 minutes. Happy with the runtime, no interference, and we had a clean finish, which is what I was happy about. I was expecting Seth to get the win here. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm a CM Punk guy all the way. The man's my role model, but I feel like at first that Seth needed the win more, but now, but with the fact that CM Punk has defeated Seth Rollins twice, and about what, 10 years? 10 years after the first time that they've wrestled each other on Raw in December of 2013, I believe. It just goes to show the more things change, the more they stay the same. But the finish was fantastic. Of course, it was like a repeat of All Out 2022 when Punk defeated John Moxley for the AEW heavyweight title. It took two GTSs to defeat Moxley, and this time to Seth freaking Rollins. Way to humble the visionary, the revolutionary, the architect known as Seth freaking Rollins.
Perfect. Joe, what are your thoughts on this main event of the evening? Raw on Netflix. First one.
In this new Netflix era, it seems that CM Punk now is going to be the bigger star, and I really love the personal and the cerebral buildup of this match. It's we haven't seen something like that in quite some time since uh, yeah, I don't know, Cody versus Roman. But this is one number one. I like the build up. Number two, the match itself with the finishers was excellent. But I'm kind of wondering where this is going to lead to for these two guys. It seems to me that Seth might be going away for a minute. I mean, given his history of injuries, and yes, I scroll Instagram. He's out playing golf with his wife Becky. Where will that lead Seth?
Right.
You know, he
Well,
was
I
supposed
will,
to carry Monday Night Rollins. Is he going to still be making appearances on Netflix, or Is CM Punk now the guy who is going to carry this brand into the new year?
And we'll touch on the Seth topic in a little bit. For me, I thought it was a good main event. Uh, did Punk need it? Maybe, but
He did.
he needed it at that point because he's coming off, the Drew feud and all that good stuff, which was probably one of my match of the year, the Hell in a Cell, right?
I second that. Yes,
Yeah,
match of the year,
probably match of the year
2024.
candidate, at least for WWE, because you know it depends how you want to look at it. But yeah, match of the year. That's probably where it's gonna go. But we'll have our awards and stuff like that maybe in our next episode, so we could all have a consensus on all that good stuff. But let's move on to our next topic. The John Cena Farewell Tour has officially begun, and if that's not the news, or what do you say, Joe? What do you say? The hot topic or whatever.
Oh,
The
the biggest story in professional wrestling right now?
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't even gotten to that yet.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll get to that. But we're going to touch on this John Cena farewell tour. Ray, your thoughts, your initial impressions on what's going on with John Cena.
I never thought we would ever get to this point because, to many wrestlers and legends, they say never. They're lifers when it comes to the business, the pro wrestling business. But for John Cena at age 46, who will be 47 in April, is going to be doing his farewell tour this year, retiring at the end of December of 2025. I can't believe it's going to happen. The promo, very good, very John Cena. And now he is looking to become a 17-time world champion and entering the 2025 Royal Rumble match. Now, he's already a two-time Royal Rumble winner in 2008 and 2013. Does John Cena really need to win a third Royal Rumble tying up with Stone Cold Steve Austin? In my opinion, no. I would give it to CM Punk. He came up short last year. This is his year. Please give him his moment already.
Joe, your impressions on John Cena's farewell tour beginning January 6th. Monday.
If you haven't seen me yet, I'm rolling my eyes. Cena, just do something. Do something. Get into a fight with someone. Just okay, you're retiring. We get it. It's a new year. Get in the goddamn ring. He okay, and as far as title pictures go, hell no. Hell no. That is way overdue. That's past its expiration date. If he wanted to get his 17th world title, he should have done that last year or years ago. He's coming off of losses off of Solo Sokoa and
Austin
Solo
Theory.
Sokoa. Why in the hell would he deserve a title shot unless he starts doing something now? Get in the ring against Logan Paul, against CM Punk, against somebody. Do something, Cena.
Right.
Okay, we get it. You're retiring. Congratulations. Either retire or wrestle.
I kind of agree with you, Joe, but I want to see him get this 17th. But it's got to be some kind of swerve. The swerve has to be real. It has
He's
to be
not a
the
swerve
Yoko.
guy.
It has to be the Yoko Hulk Hogan swerve.
No,
This has
Cena
to
is
repeat
not.
himself.
He's
It has
not
to be.
known for swerve jobs.
It has to be. Let's say Cena wins. Like let's go. Let's Russell. Let's not do WrestleMania because I think that's too big of a stage. Let's say Elimination Chamber. He's got a match. Let's say he's not in a chamber match. Let's say he's got a title shot. Let's say he takes the pin or he gets the pin, he wins, and somebody comes out of nowhere and does that stupid ass Yokozuna Hulk Hogan swerve. How about that? He still
I
drops
can't.
the title that same night.
I can't see that happening,
I
Carl. I'm
no.
sorry.
Like I said, Cena's not a swerve guy. They're not going to swerve Cena. And as far as a title match goes,
They did it once. Elimination Chamber 2010 when John Cena won the WWE title in the Elimination Chamber and Vince McMahon came out afterwards and made him defend the title against Batista.
Okay, yeah.
Work job, baby. Let's go all the way with this. Give
Uh,
him 17th, but give it for one night, very short run. That's not
I can't. Just Cena, we just do something, please. I mean, if people are going to start paying for PLEs, he's got to do something.
do
He's gonna
something.
win the Royal Rumble. But if
Uh,
he is gonna go for it at WrestleMania, I'd say give CM Punk the Royal Rumble and give John Cena the Elimination Chamber. Boom, we all win.
Cena at his age and in the Elimination Chamber,
You're
he's
gonna
gonna
give him the
be
match?
alive.
Come on.
Uh,
Come
I
on.
mean, him
Cena,
and CM Punk are around the same age. What a fantastic match CM Punk had inside the Hell in a Cell.
yeah, I guess,
But
but
this guy's been away from wrestling for way too long. CM Punk was
that's what I'm saying.
he was
He
still cooking,
has,
boys.
he has. I hate to say it, but he has, and he's not at his best anymore. Hence why he's retiring.
Right?
A lot of people are saying that he's washed, and based on what we've seen, I hate to say it, but yeah, it's true. He's gonna hang it up this year. Sure, his last match was against Sol Sokoa, but he did a tremendous job in putting him over.
Right. Cena goated or not? Is Mount Rushmore goat,
Yes,
Joe?
Okay, as far as workers go, Cena is one of the greats, but there's only four heads on Mount Rushmore, and he's not on mine.
Damn. He's not on mine either,
he's not on mine either,
unfortunately.
and he was my favorite wrestler after The Rock.
Why can't we just put him up there?
I was never a Cena fan. Seen enough. I was
Cena.
never.
Okay.
Ne-
We'll talk more Cena a little later. Let's move on to our next topic. A trending topic on Twitter that everybody was talking about for a little while now when it happened. That is Hulk Hogan getting booed at WWE Raw Netflix premiere. Hulk Hogan Hulk Hogan came out to his Real American uh
With Mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart. Yeah.
with Mouth South Jimmy Hart waving American flag with his little promo American beer. Have you tasted this beer, by the way?
No.
Is it out? Can you purchase it? This is my question. Let's just before we get to the booing part, can you obtain this beer?
Well, we tried to get Broken Skull at the last show, and they didn't have that out. Hopefully, they'll have Real American Beer at the next SmackDown here in Chicago.
Maybe. I'm surprised they didn't. I'm surprised they didn't cut a partnership with Austin's Broken Skull Beer. What's up with that?
What's
I'm
up with all
surprised
these
they
beers?
didn't can out the booze.
All
It's
right,
Nef- it's Netflix, but I praise them for that. Like they really booed Hogan out of the building, and rightfully so. He deserved every bit of it. But like you said, Joe, the surprise was they didn't they didn't silence the boos. Like, okay,
yeah.
They
Oh,
were legit booze.
you were
I
legit booze.
okay, so I've liked Hogan since I was a Hogan fan since I was a kid. All right, one of my favorites since the beginning of time for me.
oh yeah,
He's on my Mount Rushmore, and I'm thinking to myself the whole time: are they booing him because of his support for Trump, or is it something else, or is they don't like him, or they don't like his new beer? What was it?
Well,
racism.
he's been involved in a lot of controversy through the years, and I'm just gonna leave it at that. And he just hasn't aged well with the audience.
He
It's
has an
not like
age. You're
wine,
right. That is true. I mean, yeah, he hasn't aged well with the younger audience and the growing audience.
right?
It,
So I mean,
Hogan segment on Raw, Netflix, the Inglewood crowd, Inglewood, not Los Angeles, because the Intuit Dome is in Inglewood, not LA. The Inglewood crowd literally said with their booze, that doesn't work for us, brother.
okay, yeah. Enough of Hogan. He had his, maybe Voodoo Child and Hollywood Hulk Hogan. Maybe that would have been
I
better. I don't fuck.
I prefer that theme.
Yeah, maybe that Hogan should have came out and would have received the booze better.
well, were you guys around when he used to come out to Eye of the Tiger?
What?
Supposedly the first entrance song ever.
I saw
Supposedly.
that.
Is he
Anyway,
talking about
He
Rocky 3?
He was my guy. No, this was after Rocky.
Yeah,
He,
right after
Yeah, because
Rocky.
after Rocky 3, Vince brought him back, right?
Yep.
yes. And he came
Yeah.
out to Eye of the Tiger, and then he won the World Heavyweight Championship against Bob Backlund, maybe.
Wasn't
Yeah.
it the Iron Sheik?
That's
Yeah.
what I
In
became.
Madison Square Garden.
I
Because
was in
who didn't
elementary.
1994.
want Backlund didn't want to drop the title Hulk. He didn't think he was a shoot wrestler. So they put it on Sheiky, and Sheiky hates Hogan. You know, rest in peace, Sheiky. Uh, but I saw something on Twitter. It was pretty cool. It said, "Screw Hogan now, screw Hogan then, screw Hogan forever," and it's just Sheik's face 3 times. Pretty funny. You should look it up. Next topic, real quick to touch on WWE 2K25.
All right.
Ray, we got a new video game. What do you think about the? Did you see any trailers? Did you look into anything of that nature?
I did not see any trailers, but I did see some pictures of the game, some shots. Honestly, they look way much better than they do in WWE 2K24. Looking forward to, buying it and to see the trailer. And by the looks of it, Roman Reigns, our tribal chief, is gonna be the poster boy.
Yes, the front cover.
Is it gonna be for the standard edition, and
Yeah,
then we'll get someone else for the deluxe edition, just like last year
yeah. You
when
usually get a legend.
Cody was on the cover for the standard, while the EST Bianca Belair and our new women's world champion Mommy Rhea Ripley was on the deluxe cover alongside Bianca.
And I think you get a Legends edition too. They get a legend on there. Joe, what do you
Right.
think? You seen anything on this 25 2K
I
video
mean,
game?
just the graphics just keep getting better and better.
Yeah,
I'm not a very big gamer, but I mean, I like seeing that. It's the graphics are incredible. They just become more and more lifelike. That's
The
all I got.
evolution of
yep.
gaming.
Okay, guys, let's talk about our next topic on this Raw Netflix special. That will continue on. Fans on the left, fans on the right, fans all around. Fanfare for this event was just insane. Celebrities from all across pop culture, movies, just to name a couple: Macaulay Culkin, Vanessa Hudgens, music. Right, Ray, what's your thoughts, man? Is this peaking WWE peaks right now?
I love that there were, celebrities in attendance, some really good ones at that, especially Vanessa Hudgens, who is a well-known wrestling fan. She got a good pop. But the pop of the night, when it comes to celebrities, goes to our boy Kevin McAllister, Macaulay Culkin. And what a smooth reveal he did. Like, wow.
Yeah.
Joe,
Amazing.
what are your thoughts on just fanfare for this event?
I mean, Englewood, Hollywood, they're all wood, whatever. I hope their houses aren't burning right now. I mean, yeah, all this they're gonna try to get all these celebrities and stars again. Netflix, the theatrics of it, they got to get that star power. They got to get they got to promote as much as they can through any channel. So of course they're going to try to invite all of these celebrities, all these stars, pack them into the front rows. And again, they're sitting right there next to the corporate suits. You didn't see them, you didn't see all of them, but they were there and they were being recognized. But yeah, it is what it is. All of the PLEs, or at least the big ones, always have some celebrities in them. They're kind of a mainstay.
Yeah,
Not
depending
not
on where they are.
yeah,
Yeah,
a big deal.
Hollywood usually gets those celebrities, and it's cool. But like, just to see how that stadium wasn't it like the biggest selling stadium for Raw or something like that? Right.
Yeah,
It's always something like that.
The biggest selling gate for the Intuit Dome itself in history.
Yeah, it's always something really crazy like that. So I'm just really happy that fans are turning up, turning out, celebrities. Who cares, right? I mean, but it's just awesome. Like you said, Macaulay Culkin reveal was pretty freaking slick with his hat and just like, oh, it's me. But there was other celebrities, there's musicians, obviously, and it was a pretty star-studded event. But we'll move on to our next topic, which oh man, we talked about it a little bit in the beginning of the show how we're trying to get to Royal Rumble, but actually, who does deserve to win this year's Royal Rumble? Ray?
about a month away from the Royal Rumble, so I'm gonna stick to my picks for the men's CM Punk and the women Io Sky.
Joe?
Who I want to see win the Rumble, and you may blast me for this, is Drew McIntyre. I mean, he won Money in the Bank last year, but this year I think he's paid his dues. I think he deserves a title shot. Who I think is going to win is CM Punk. Again, it's just they're pushing him, pushing him, pushing him, and yeah, he'll probably win. Women's side, yeah, I'm gonna go with Io. She is gonna pull out some crazy shit, and she's just gonna outlast all of them. And and before was it more games? Uh, Io and Rhea Ripley were very chummy, so I want to see where that possibly goes. If those two are going to be continually chummy in this new year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree with you guys. Like I said in previous episodes, CM Punk didn't come back for no reason, right? He didn't come back knowing that he's not going to be featured at a WrestleMania. He didn't come back knowing that he's not going to get that shot. So, in my opinion, CM Punk takes the men's, and I don't see any other possibility. John Cena, that's not even a that doesn't even cross my mind, right? You said Drew. I
Of
love that.
course.
That'll be awesome. But it's CM Punk's year. He came back for a reason. On the women's side, Io Sky, of course. Yes, I agree with you guys 100%.
I mean, it has to be Io Sky. I mean, who else? I mean, they've been for the last year. They've been teasing a sequel to Rhea versus Io with all those backstage stare downs, even while they were both champions. Like, you can't just tease us like that and not give it to us. Come on.
Come on, don't give it to give it to us, right?
They
Finally,
gave the title, they put the title back on Mommy for a reason, just so
right?
she could walk in a WrestleMania once again for the second year in a row as the Women's World Champion. And who is she going to defend against? I say Io Sky.
Yeah,
They haven't worked together since NXT in 2020 when Rhea Ripley put over Io Sky for the NXT Women's title in her farewell match on NXT. And ever since then, I've been dying for them to run it back. And now is the time for the long awaited sequel.
So there's been, like you said, we don't like the dirt sheets or whatever, Joe. We don't try to follow along with that stuff. But there's been rumors, there's been speculations
always.
to Charlotte Flair, the
Yes,
Queen, returning.
Okay, yeah, I'm a huge Charlotte fan. And what about Asuka? Isn't Asuka supposed to be making a return soon as well?
I hope so.
But will there be just the biggest swerve in Royal Rumble history? Charlotte comes back, Asuka comes back, and they take it all.
You see, here's the thing with swerves: you can't always hope for them. They just got to happen organically. They got to just
Yes.
occur naturally.
Right.
Similar to what happened with the Eddie Thorpe thing on NXT.
Oh, fuck that guy.
But it was a great swerve, and it happened on NXT, the program where it has the least amount of eyes. So for something like that to happen on Raw on Netflix, again, I don't want it to happen too soon. It's got
but
to
I
happen like it's got to be just time. See, swerve jobs are just they're all about timing. They have to be perfectly placed and perfectly timed. Otherwise, it's just it is it's kayfabe. It is what it is.
but I think you got the point, Joe. But I think me and Ray are missing the point. Who the hell deserves to win the Royal Rumble the most this year for
I'm
his
gonna say
work? For
Drew. My guy's Drew. I think he's paid his dues.
Ray, you think CM Punk deserves this Royal Rumble this year more
Last
than
year he
anyone?
was the runner up. This year it has to happen. It's either now or never. Because it sure as hell isn't going to be next year when the 2026 Royal Rumble is going to be coming to us live from Riyadh, Saudi
Oh,
Arabia, which many
boo!
people are very, very upset about. And they're pissed for mostly the women.
Yeah,
Yeah,
It has to be this year. They have to give Punk the Rumble this year.
for sure. I agree 100%. Let's
I'm
give
glad
Punk.
it's not Cody.
the trigger. It's either now or never.
Next topic we touched on it a little bit: Undertaker and Ripley. Where does this camaraderie come apart? I mean, Taker's in back all the time, right? He has this podcast, or whatever. He does that thing for WWE all the time. Do you think that there's gonna be something on screen wise?
I don't think so. That was just to give her a special moment.
Just flowers, Joe.
Yes, just to give her
Yeah,
flowers.
well, I mean, there's some parallel between Undertaker and Rhea Ripley. They're both that dark horror type character. Um, I don't see Undertaker, being as like a manager type of taking a management type of role, or a valet type of role. I mean, he's Undertaker. It's so, and Netflix was, or Raw on Netflix, the first Raw on Netflix was touted as the biggest show of the year. They
Yeah.
got to give him his, they got to recognize him in some way. So but I don't think it's going to go any further than that. I would have liked to see Undertaker a little bit longer, but it is
Um,
what it is.
Maybe
okay,
for
so
on
one
Netflix
time
they want
thing,
to bring in
just
some heavy hitters.
there you go. They
The
did.
Rock, The Undertaker. You
They
you
missed Austin. What's Austin doing? What's
Yeah,
Stone Cold doing
what
these
if
days?
Austin wasn't there? Maybe
Drinking
they couldn't
beer.
agree. Maybe they couldn't agree to a deal. Who knows?
What? Drinking beer? God,
Right.
that chant has to go away though. That chant has to die in America, please.
What? Wait, what, Chan? What?
What?
The what chant?
Oh, the what? Oh, eh. It's always going to be around. That's not good.
Okay, next topic of discussion. Where does Seth Rollins go after this loss to CM Punk? You touched it on a little bit, Joe. Uh, maybe take some time off. Ray, what do you speculate is going to happen with Seth?
Knowing Seth freaking Rollins and him being very stubborn when it comes to his love for the business, I do not see him taking time off anytime soon, especially with WrestleMania season on the horizon. I mean, look what happened last year. He was all beat down and burnt out, and he still gave us a show until WrestleMania, despite having a bad back and all. He
Joe?
will go 100 miles per hour.
For the sake of Seth's health and longevity, I'd like to see him take some time off. I mean, you're right, Ray. He's such a worker. He is the workhorse.
Very much so.
And he, number one, I mean, he's a family man now, and he needs to, take some time off the road, spend time with family, and try to recuperate. And then perhaps maybe later on, just come in at the right time. Just make another appearance at the right time. Because when he lost the World Heavyweight Championship and then he was out for a while, I think he might have come back too soon.
Yeah,
Uh, but yeah, I hope he gets better. Um,
yeah, he
but
will.
Seth is Seth. He's gonna do Seth things.
I'm curious to see what he's gonna do after his loss to Punk. Maybe we'll get a rematch somewhere down the road, because I cannot see him letting this loss go.
Yeah, it's not a CM Punk thing to do, I mean, or a Seth Rollins thing to do to just let it go. Uh, but yeah, I agree with Joe. Maybe he's gonna take some time, real quick. He's not fully recovered. He came back quicker because that's how wrestlers are. They're like if they're not wrestling, then they feel like they're losing momentum, which the audience starts to forget, what you've done, and
It does. It
And
does
that
happen.
is how I feel about Cena.
what have you done for me lately? That's kind of a thing. But you're talking about a legend like John Cena. Can he do it? He would have to. I don't know. I don't know. We already talked about the Cena thing.
Yeah.
You
Shake
get
off
it.
all that ring rust.
Pick up. Moving on to our next topic of discussion. That would be 1 second. Undo. Roman Reigns has finally reclaimed the Ula Fala and is the only tribal chief currently, or the original tribal chief being the only tribal chief.
Yes, sir.
Ray, your thoughts on finally this bloodline storyline feels like it's, well, you don't know what you're doing with the new bloodline yet or whatever, but it finally feels like it has come to a head.
Well, I believe I'm surprised they, gave him the Ula Fala back on Raw rather than to wait till WrestleMania. But maybe they have bigger plans for Roman Reigns. I mean, we've already seen Solo versus Roman. I mean, let's be honest. Do you really see that as a WrestleMania worthy type of match? Did they make the right decision by giving it to us now rather than WrestleMania? I would say yes.
Joe?
I see this as okay. So I'm gonna touch on this for a second. So The Rock
Okay.
made his appearance on Raw, and he straight out said that he is one of the Samoan high chiefs, and I think that's going to be the beginning of the whole Roman versus The Rock cooking. Because I think Rock is going to want that Ulafala as well.
I
I don't know.
agree.
I could be wrong,
So,
but
But from what I read, the Ula Fala is for the tribal chief. The Rock is named the High Chief, which, from what I read, is a higher honor than tribal chief.
hmm,
Hence the
that's
name
who
High
crowns the
Chief.
tribal chief. That's why he came out and he did the Ula Fala, right?
Yeah,
That's
that's
probably
that's like a
something.
that's like a king. That's like a king crowning a prince, so to speak. For example.
Okay. Yeah.
but
I mean, what
but
I
could
think.
could we possibly see? Would this Rock versus Roman thing happen this year?
Not this year. Definitely, he already hinted at it. Like it's not. It's not the Cody Rock thing. Isn't going on. This Roman Rock thing is not happening this year.
Yeah, but
Because
apparently
he
he's gonna
acknowledged
be
Cody. He was like, "Oh yeah, you're very, you carry this thing on your back." But the whole lead up to Rock and Cody was the exchange of some kind of personal object in the ring. What happened to that? What was that? Is
I
that
guess
done now?
maybe they're gonna put Rock versus Cody on hold for the time being. Who knows? We have what? We're 3 months away, 3.5 months away from WrestleMania. Anything could happen. So I'm not gonna count it out just yet.
I do want to acknowledge the wise man Paul Heyman and his antics. Man, that guy is a show in himself. Just the
Yep.
He's a go manager.
yeah, that guy is just
He's goaded in so much aspects of the wrestling industry. He doesn't get enough credit.
So
Some wrestlers didn't pay him. Yeah, we all know the Heyman stories, but
oh
great
yeah.
great manager for the. If it wasn't for Heyman, I don't see Roman doing what he's doing right now in the impact he's making right now
sure.
as the tribal chief. I don't see it happening at all.
Yeah.
Probably one of the greatest managers of all time. I agree.
He
So
deserved to be inducted. Give him his flowers.
next one, we're gonna do AEW breakdown. I'm gonna get off the scene shortly because I haven't followed up on my AEW too much. So I'm gonna let you guys run this as best as you can.
All right.
All right, Ray.
All
Didn't
right.
I didn't finish Dynamite tonight, but I got so far as Will Ospreay versus Buddy Matthews. That was a hell of a match, and plus they both gave each other the pound at the end. And that's
Really, that's awesome.
they did, and yeah,
I would expect Will Ospreay and Buddy Matthews to put on a banger. They're both really good wrestlers and fun to watch in their own right. To tell you the truth, I have not watched Collision yet. I have not watched Dynamite yet. I was gonna wait till after we got off here, so I could get to it. This whole weekend was like the busiest week ever with all the wrestling content that was presented to us.
yeah.
SmackDown, Wrestle Kingdom 19, Wrestle Dynasty, and Raw Netflix.
NXT New Year's Evil. That was
New
huge
Year's
last
Evil.
night too.
My God, what an episode! Nearly a million in viewers. Just a bit close. And seeing The Rock on NXT, like, all right, I love it.
Yeah, there was no script involved there. It was only he had like 6 minutes left to talk. But
What the fuck I'm gonna say?
but again, AEW is just action wise. I think is just it's better than WWE right now. It's just in terms of like moves, in terms of their maneuvers, and
Yes,
the way the announcers uh, describe them, the way they actually label them, what those moves are in their purest terms.
I do enjoy the commentary, the action, the storytelling. They give you everything you need. Whereas WWE, it's more entertainment and cinema, like we've discussed. But AEW, it gives you professional wrestling.
Yeah,
The action is always hard hitting, and
it's
the
far less
ways.
sports entertainment. It's
Yes.
less entertainment, more sport. I see.
Yes, that is what makes it different from WWE. And whatever matches they give us, they always put on bangers without fail. They just need to work more on their women's division. But I will say that they are doing a fantastic job with Tony Storm and our reigning TBS champion Mercedes Monet, who won the Rev Pro British Undisputed Women's Championship at Wrestle Dynasty a few days ago on Sunday. Congrats to my CEO, who is now 4 belts. Monet could a fifth belt be on the horizon? Who knows? Maybe time will tell. But she did say that she will be doing some Rev Pro shows, so that should be fun.
It's cool how you mentioned Tony Storm and her whole amnesia character right now.
It's
Um,
funny.
it's yeah, it's good. She's playing that character very well. And a plus side for her is that this is building up like like a collision course between her and Mariah May, to perhaps,
So
she's building her way back up to that number one contender status against Mariah May, who was her, not only her prodigy, but now her arch enemy, and she doesn't even know it. So that's a good storyline. But again, if we're going to talk comparatively between AEW and WWE now with Raw being on Netflix, I think Raw is going to be even a further departure from the actual wrestling. It's going to be more theatrics, more TV. Meanwhile, while AEW is more on the athleticism and the moves. That's my
With SmackDown being a close second.
Yeah. I mean, for a while, SmackDown was a great mix of both. Again, I still think SmackDown is the top show. Um,
For years, many people called Raw the entertainment show for all the top guys and the legends, the cinema, while whereas SmackDown was the wrestling show.
and going back to NXT as well. I mean, giving them their recognition. It's like, they don't have the
Yeah,
big superstars or the big names yet. Every so often you'll have a big name appear on NXT, but I think
yes.
that right now they are a good mix of the action and athleticism and the storyline and the entertainment.
I will
It's a
say
perfectly
for Tony
balanced.
Storm, just one thing, guys. Women's Wrestler of the Year, she should be acknowledged of this this crown. If there is a acknowledgement of anybody, I think Tony Storm, Women's Wrestler of the Year, it would be my pick.
Yeah, she's great, great worker.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Everyone loves her. She's very beloved. She's an amazing athlete. It just blows my mind that WWE completely fumbled her. But then again, it was still the Vince McMahon era. Who knows? Maybe someday she'll come back under the Triple H era, and maybe the second time, the second run, second try, things will be better. But we don't
Most
have to worry
definitely.
about that right now. Let's enjoy Tony Storm in AEW right now. She's doing amazing.
All right, we are an hour into the broadcast. We'd like to thank everybody who tuned in to our first episode of season 2. It was a big deal for us. We were prepped. We were ready. We hope you enjoyed, and we hope you subscribe, like, comment, support any way you know how, any way you can. We are live on X at Around Smart, on YouTube at Smart Nation, and now we're on Facebook, but it's only my personal profile, so we'll figure that part out. Thank you guys, the hosts. with the most. Joe, Ray, you guys were awesome today. We knocked it out of the park. And we'll see you next time, next week, same time, Wednesday, 8:45. We might switch it. We don't know yet. We'll talk amongst ourselves. But you guys have a good night and stay close.
Have a good night,
Peace.
everybody. Peace out. See you next week.